Hello again everybody. Just a quick message, if you haven't watched my last video, go ahead and watch that before you start watching this video because it might ruin the surprise. If you haven't guessed already and you have watched the video before and you've seen the title of this video, yes, I am pregnant. So this is my week 7 update. So I'm just going to talk through kind of what I've been experiencing, doctor's appointments, that sort of thing, and obviously facts about me and the baby. So the size of the baby this week is the size of a blueberry, 0.02 ounces and 0.50 inches long from crown to rump, so still teeny tiny, not showing or anything yet, feeling obviously that I still look exactly the same as I did before. So the baby this week, the tooth buds are actually forming in the mouth, the arms and legs are growing, and the fingers and toes are beginning to separate. So it's kind of starting to look more and more like a baby rather than this tiny little grain of rice that it was last week. The last video that you saw was actually me finding out I was pregnant. Since then I have actually been to the doctors and I've had the pregnancy confirmed, and I have my midwife appointment booked for next week. Symptoms this week, I've written down here the number one symptom is tender breasts. Now I don't just mean they're a bit sore to touch or either feel a bit heavier. I mean that they are so sore that if I accidentally brush myself or knock myself, I am in tears. They are so painful. I was actually in work the other night and I knocked myself on the door frame. Nobody knows at work yet, so to try and disguise why I was in so much pain was pretty interesting. So yeah, so that's probably the number one symptom for this week. Like most pregnancies, nausea is another symptom. Haven't actually been sick yet, touch wood, but I have been feeling very nauseous all week. When I wake up with an empty stomach, the first thing I want to do is eat. But throughout the course of the day, if I do eat, it does tend to help. And drinking plenty of water, I mean I've got, you know, this here to drink. Drinking plenty of water does help. Gives my stomach something to do, so it doesn't make me feel as nauseous. My morning sickness tends to strike kind of afternoon time, so between like 1 and 4 is when I'm probably at the worst. I don't like feeling sick at all, and I do get quite panicky when I am feeling sick, the thought of being sick. So that's not been very nice to deal with. I'm feeling quite good today. I have had a couple of moments today where I've been a bit like, oh, I feel a bit queasy, but nothing major today, touch wood. Have had quite a lot of cramp, just like period cramp, nothing too painful, nothing to worry about. Have obviously checked this with when I went to see the doctor to confirm everything as well. It's pretty normal at this stage of the pregnancy. Obviously everything's growing and stretching. I'm getting bigger, the baby's getting bigger, so that's just something that I'm going to have to deal with, and hopefully that will subside. Headaches, I have had quite a few headaches. I'm not one to suffer with many headaches, I don't think. I do wear glasses, so I find that if I've been at work all day and haven't had my glasses on, which I'm terrible at, you know, sometimes I don't wear them. Since obviously I have found out that I'm pregnant, I have had quite a few headaches, but then that also kind of coincides with the fact that I caught a cold this week as well. So I'm completely fine now, but last Thursday, me and Johnny went out. We went to the cinema and we went for something to eat, and that day, during the day, I'd kind of started with a bit of a runny nose, and I just thought it was my allergies because I've stopped taking my allergy medication because I'm pregnant. So I just thought that it was my allergies starting up. Turns out it wasn't. We were sat in the cinema and I just got worse and worse and worse, and I felt awful. My nose was just running like a tap, my throat was sore, my head was thumping, so that was the start of obviously a cold. Didn't last very long, only lasted a couple of days. I was actually off work, that was on the Thursday. I was actually off work on the Friday, so that was quite nice. I got to spend the day in bed and just rest and drink plenty of fluids. get a little bit of sleep because obviously I'm quite tired. So yeah, that wasn't too bad. Just it was difficult not being able to treat a cold because not a lot of cold and flu medication you can actually take when you're pregnant. So that was pretty bad. Haven't been taking any paracetamol either. I was advised by the nurse practitioner when I went to see her that not to take them unless I desperately had to, and I just thought, it's only a cold, I can cope, everyone copes every day with a cold. So the only other symptom I've had this week is exhaustion. I am so tired all the time. When I went to see the doctor actually last week, she did say to me that she said one of the things that you will feel is obviously morning sickness and the other one is tiredness. You will be able to sleep on a clothesline, and I tell you what, I could. I am so tired. If I get 5 minutes, I shut my eyes. I fall asleep because I'm just so tired all the time. I find myself, I'll just be sitting watching TV and the next thing I know, half an hour later, I'm waking up because I've actually fallen asleep. So I'm making the most of that, obviously, whilst I'm on, days off from work and stuff. I'm trying to rest as much as I can. Next, I'm going to talk about my cravings and aversions. I am craving hot food, like hot dinners, like a roast dinner, or like chicken in a sauce and rice, like very savoury, hearty, warm dishes. That's what I want to eat. My aversions are sweet things. Offer me a piece of chocolate before I found out I was pregnant and I would bite your hand off. I love chocolate, but now that I'm pregnant, I don't want to know it at all. The thought of actually eating a piece of chocolate makes me feel sick. So my aversions are definitely sweet things. So I'll talk a little bit about my doctor's appointment. I actually didn't see a doctor, I saw the nurse practitioner, and I checked whether she would be able to confirm the pregnancy when obviously I made the appointment, and they said yes, that's absolutely fine, you can see the nurse practitioner. So I went in, obviously told her that I'd taken 2 home pregnancy tests and that they had come back positive. We talked about the first day of my last period, talked about due date, and then she was just asking me questions, is this a good thing that you found out you're pregnant? Are you happy? How are your family going to take it? Quite emotional questions, which I thought was I was a bit taken back at first because I was a bit like, well, of course I'm happy that I'm pregnant. And then I was like, well, actually, I suppose she does kind of have to make sure that this is okay and that I am okay and that this is a good thing, because she has to obviously support you no matter what your decision is, I suppose. So we talked a little bit about that, and then I filled out a few forms, handed those in, and that was it. Came away with a leaflet, and that was it. So we've been waiting for the midwives at my local hospital to contact me to arrange my first midwife appointment, which I do have, and that is next week. It's actually on the Tuesday, so I'll film again on the Wednesday when I'm 8 weeks. So next video will be my 8-week update, and I'll be able to update you about my first midwife appointment. So that's exciting. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So don't forget to like this video, leave a couple of comments down below how you were feeling in week 7, just so I've got something to compare to. Subscribe if you want to see more, because I will be putting out videos every single week, updating you on how everything's going, appointments, everything, all that fun stuff. So that's it for now. So I'll see you guys in my week 8 update. Bye!